Your mouth can be disciplined, but your face is a messenger. Even when you are silent, your body is communicating. A slight twitch of the lip, a microsecond of a frown, or a subtle shift in your posture, these are the subtle leaks that can impact your professional standing. Today, we're going beyond words. I'm going to show you how to build a composed, unbreakable poker face, and more importantly, how to recognize the subtle, unconscious signals of internal conflict that others are working hard to manage. I remember early in my career, I sat in a negotiation for a high-stakes contract. The man across from me was a veteran, calm, smiling, and seemingly confident. He said all the right things. But every time I mentioned a specific clause about liability, his left hand would subtly tighten around his pen. Just for a fraction of a second, he thought he was winning the verbal game, but his body told me exactly where he felt the most internal discomfort. I focused on that specific point, and he eventually lost his composure. That day, I learned that in the professional world, the person who manages their leakage is the one who guides the outcome. To understand why it is so difficult to remain perfectly still in these moments, we have to look at the biology behind our reactions. It's a battle between two parts of your brain. Your prefrontal cortex wants to stay professional and composed, but your limbic system, the seat of your emotions, reacts instantly to stress or pressure. This creates what psychologists call micro-expressions. These last less than half a second. They are a flash of true emotion before the conscious mind takes control again. High-status individuals understand they cannot stop the initial reflex, but they can train themselves to return to a neutral state so fast that it remains unnoticed by the untrained eye. Now, once you understand why we leak, you can begin to recognize the patterns in others. To understand the people around you, you don't need to be a mind reader. You just need to recognize 3 critical signs of unconscious stress. The first sign is what we call the eye block. When people hear something they find uncomfortable or misaligned with their goals, they will often cover or close their eyes for a split second. It's a primitive reflex to distance oneself from unwelcome information. Watch for it in meetings when a difficult budget is proposed. The second sign is the micro-smirk. Watch for a tiny, momentary upturn of one corner of the mouth. This isn't a smile of happiness. It's an expression of internal relief that occurs when someone believes they have successfully navigated a difficult topic. It is a brief flash of satisfaction that can tell you exactly when someone feels they've gained the upper hand. The third sign is the neck touch. The neck is a highly sensitive area. When someone feels under pressure or internally conflicted, they will instinctively touch or cover their throat or adjust their collar. It is a powerful signal of underlying stress that even the most experienced executives find hard to suppress. Now that you know how to read the room, the question is, how do you protect your own composure? How do you become unreadable? The secret isn't to have no expression. That looks unnatural and suspicious. Instead, you must master the high-status neutral. Start with what I call the soft focus. When you are under pressure, consciously relax your jaw. Tension in the jaw is the first sign of stress that others will pick up on. Keep your brow neutral and your breathing deep. Most importantly, practice stillness. High-status individuals move with intention. They don't fidget. They don't adjust their watch. They are like a statue in a storm. When you are still, you maintain your frame of power and force others to navigate their own discomfort. Finally, we must address a common psychological technique that many people get wrong: the mirroring trap. In psychology, we often hear that copying someone's body language builds rapport, but in high-level environments, this can be a trap that leads you to lose control of the situation. If someone is leaning in and being aggressive, and you lean in too, You have allowed them to set the pace. A master of self-control practices. Counter mirroring. If they are fast, you be slow. If they are loud, you be quiet. If they are leaning in with pressure, you remain perfectly still and upright. By refusing to mirror their chaos, you maintain your own internal authority and keep the balance of power in your favor. Mastering your composure is a discipline that requires practice. For the next 48 hours, I want you to try the stillness test. In every professional conversation, keep your hands perfectly still for at least 60 seconds. No touching your face, no adjusting your clothes. Notice the urge to move, that is, your internal stress, trying to find an exit. Master that urge, and you master your presence. Control is an internal game played on an external stage. Once you master your composure, you become a steady force in any room, present but unreadable. But even if you master your face and your silence, there is one more thing that can signal your status before you even walk through the door. In the next video, we're going to discuss the architecture of status, how the way you occupy space and the objects you surround yourself with are subconsciously telling everyone exactly where you sit in the hierarchy. Subscribe to understand the rules of the game. I'll see you in the next one.